Hi guys, we're skipping quite a few lessons in chapter 10. Honestly, they're the hardest lessons of the entire year. So we're going to leave those for Algebra 2. We're just going to keep on chucking with what I think that we can get done over the videos and things like that because I don't want to overwhelm anyone. So we're doing matrices or matrix. It's called a matrix, like the movie. And when you have lots of them, it's called a matrice. People usually really like this lesson and they think that it's one of the easier ones that we do. So I don't think you'll find this one too bad. So a matrix is just these brackets here. This is what makes it a matrix, and it's rows and columns of numbers. So a matrices are brackets I'm struggling to get my pen to work. They're brackets with a set of numbers in them. Brackets, it looks like brackets. Brackets with a set of numbers. Okay, so you can see the brackets there. And the rows are what's going this way. The columns are what's going this way. So this one has 3 rows and 4 columns. So matrices have, they're named by the rows and columns. Kind of like when you buy wood at Lowe's or Home Depot, you hear 2x4, 8x10, things like that. Those are, like you'll hear pictures or 8x10. Those are the same way that a matrix is named. So the above one has 3 rows and 4 columns. So it's a 3x4 matrix. So if you were looking at the ones on the bottom, there is only 1 row, because you can only see just this 1 row here. Up here you saw 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, but there's just 1 row, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So this one would be a 1x5. That's how you would name it. This one has 3 rows, 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows. So it's a 3 by columns, 1 column, 2 column, 3 column, 4 column, 5. So it's a 3x5 matrix. So you're just doing rows and columns, and if you can look up at the top and just remember the difference, you should be good on that. Okay, so the before was just what size they are. Now they're going to direct you to a specific location within a matrix. So just like when you used to look at those old maps when you were a kid in elementary school and they would say go to A42 and you'd have to go, to row A in column 42 and you would find whatever city was in there. This is basically the same thing. So if they say something like a number is located within a matrix, they give a location such as A32. So it'll look weird, like a big letter and then a little number, and it's always an A. I don't know why, it just is. It's always an A, and then there's a 3 and a 2 or whatever numbers it is. This means that it's going to be in row 3 and column 2. So in this example, so remember this is row 1, row 2, row 3. This is column 1, column 2, column 3. So we go down to row 3, 1, 2, 3, column 2, 1, 2, and the number there is 12. So the answer would just be 12. So in the examples below, give a row and a column for each location. So remember, the first one is always the row, the second number is always the column. Don't think about it like 67. It's a 6 and a 7. So this is row 6, column 7. This one, row 9. This is your column. Oops, sorry, I made a mistake. Row 1, column 9. I wrote it right but said it wrong. Row 7, column 2. So the first number is the row, second number is the column, always. Okay, I'm going to go on and do adding and subtracting of matrices now. I'm going to do 3 examples of each, 3 adding and 3 subtracting. So you have the 2 matrices here being added. So this whole thing is getting added to this whole thing. And your answer is also going to be in brackets. I mean, normally it'd be written like right over here, but I don't have room for that. So this is where it's going to be written. So what you do is things get added that are in the same position. So this is in the upper left. It gets added to the other upper left. So we do -5 plus 0. -5 plus 0 is -5. And it comes out as your answer right in that same upper right-hand corner. Now we'll do, or upper left-hand corner. Now we'll do the lower left-hand corner. So we do 4 plus 15, and the answer is 19. Again, it's written in the lower left corner. Then we have our upper right corner. We have our 7 and our -7. So 7 plus -7 is 0. So that is written in the upper right-hand corner. And then we have 16 plus 12, which is 28, written in the lower right-hand corner. This is your answer, the whole bracket. You don't do anything but answer in a bracket. You don't add it all together. You don't do anything fancy-pantsy. This whole thing is the answer. So if you have a 2x2 bracket or a matrix like we do to start, your answer will be a 2x2 to finish. Okay, this example here has 2 rows and 4 columns. It's a 2x4. So your answer is going to be in brackets, and it's also going to be a 2x4. So start in the upper, whatever corner you want to. We'll just start with the upper left. So 2 plus 4 is 6. 16 plus -16 is 0. 7 plus -6 is 1. 14 plus 10 is 24. And you notice the answers are going exactly where we were. Y plus -2y. So that's like 1 yogurt minus 2 yogurts. You're a negative yogurt, so a negative y. X plus 14x, that's having another x. So it's 15x. 2 plus 14, 16. 2y plus 7y is 9y. So your answer looks the exact same size and shape as the 2 problems that were added together. Okay, I know you're probably thinking, why is she doing another one? But I promise you this one does look a little bit different. So this is a 4x3 matrix. So you're going to want some pretty big brackets. The thing that is getting added in here is some weirdness with the letters, okay? So we have 16y and 12z. You can't add y's to z's. So your answer has to look like 16y plus 12z, which is weird, but that's what it has to look like. Then we have 13x and 1. You can't add x's to 1, so it just looks like 13x plus 1. 14 and an x, again, you can't add them, so you just write 14 plus x. 6 plus 7, finally one that we can do is 13. 10x and 14. Can't add those, so it's just 10x plus 14. Remember, things that you can add together, the exact same letter. So x's and x's, y's and y's, a's and a's, b's and b's. These same numbers, 2 and 4, whatever. You cannot add anything that is not the same letter or not both numbers. So we have 76 and 0. Those are both numbers, so those can be added. 21 and 10y. One's a number, one's a letter. Cannot do it. 14z and an x. X and z are not the same, so they have to be written separately. Last column. 14 and 72. Add to be 86. -100 and 0. Add to be -100. 72y and 21y. Those are both y's, so those can be added, and it would be 93y. 21 and 17, 38. And that would be your answer. So you're going to need to leave yourself some room when it's ones like that, because the matrix gets pretty big when you have all that stuff together. Sorry, the picture's a little grainy on these, but in case you can't read the top, it says subtracting matrices. So now we are doing the same thing, except we're subtracting instead of adding. So our answer is still going to be a 2 by 2, just like the problem is a 2 by 2. But now we're subtracting. So 9 minus 16 this time. 9 minus 16 is a negative 7. When you're getting into all these funky numbers, you might want to have a calculator out with you to help you along with these problems. 0 minus 0, 0. 5 minus 5, 0. 7 minus 16 is a negative 9. Okay, next problem. This is more of like a long, skinny one here. So it's going to be a 4 by 2 matrix this time. So 21 minus a negative 13. Remember when you do minus a negative, it turns into a plus. That is an old rule that maybe you remember from middle school. But it is 34. X minus 12x. They're both x's, so it can be done. It would be a negative 11x. Y minus 7y is a negative 6y. Z minus z. So if you had a zebra, you killed the zebra. You got no zebra, so it's a 0. 14 minus 8, 6. 72z minus 6z is 66z. 12 minus 13, negative 1. 4 minus a negative 2. The minus a negative again would be like a plus, so it'd be 4 plus 2, which is 6. And if you don't remember those rules, just plug it into your calculator and it will do it for you. Okay, last one. This is one of those that's the more difficult ones where you're not going to be able to do some of them. So again, remember, just like with adding, you can't add different letters. Same thing goes with subtracting. So the first one, we have 12y minus 14x. You can't do it, so you just write 12y minus 14x. 14a minus 16, you can't do it. So you just write 14a minus, I'm going to lower this a little bit. So it looks like a matrix still, 14a minus 16. The thing about matrices is you want to spread out your numbers and stuff enough that you can actually read it. 6 minus 7, you can do that one. It gives you a negative 1. 4 minus 9, negative 5. 3 minus a negative 2 is a positive 5. Negative 9 minus 4, negative 13. Negative 12 minus x, you can't do that, so you just write negative 12 minus x. 0 minus y, can't do that, so you write 0 minus y. 0 minus 14z, you can't do that again, so 0 minus 14z, and this would be your final answer. There will be a sheet to go along with this for tonight's homework that will be posted.